Hi guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So just here to do more of the collage kind of stuff that we've been doing. So I've got here this really cute little pink paper bag here, and I just thought we'd just add a little bit of kind of collaging to this to kind of have as a little pocket, have as a little pocket somewhere. So I thought what we'd do is kind of fold it over so we've got it as a little pocket here, and obviously the bag. So obviously we've got a whole bunch of stuff that we've kind of made so far in part of this you know, series, let's call it. So I just want to kind of make sure that I'm having a bit of continuity with my kind of colours and what have you, because you know, much as I'm trying to get away from being quite so matchy, I can't quite manage to tear myself completely away from it. So these are kind of all the bits that we've obviously made so far. So I just want to kind of make sure that in some sort of form, the paper bag sort of ties in a little bit with all of these bits that we've kind of done so far. So if I just kind of move them to one side. So what we've got is obviously a whole bunch of things that we've been working with. So I'm just going to kind of pull in some of the, you know, odds and ends that we have been using, so that we can kind of, you know, cut things out and kind of pop them on. So, and I've been using lots of these little rosebuds that have been coming in really handy. So I may use some of those. Been using this green kind of paper. Obviously we've been using some sheet music, so I've got some of that here, and we've used some of this kind of you know, Shabby Dabby Doodah's own brand of or own breed of flower there. So yeah, kind of those are the types of things that we've been using. So I just want to kind of make sure that we're kind of you know, tying it all together and still kind of using similar-ish, you know, they don't have to be identical, but similar-ish things. So obviously we have quite a lot of stuff here, and we don't need kind of anywhere near this amount of stuff. So I think what we'll do is kind of look and see what things we would really like to incorporate on this bag. So obviously that pink flower looks pretty good. You know, the pink looks good on the bag. Oh, that green looks quite nice against the bag. So I'm quite liking that. And then I've just spotted kind of to the side of me that I've actually got these butterflies. So if I just kind of cut one of those. I don't know whether this is going to go or not, but we have been kind of incorporating blue into the collage pieces. Not everyone, but some of them. So I'm just going to kind of fussy cut this out and just have this, you know, ready for if we want to use it. So just kind of cut that out, just roughly like that. You know, we might decide not to use it, but let's just have it ready for just in case. So we've got that. So if I just tear off a piece of this first. Let's just tear right the way down. Okay. So just tear across here. Like that. So I mean, what we could do is kind of have that, or actually what we might like is to have it kind of tucked into the bag, like so that the inside of the bag is kind of that type of pattern. Now obviously that's not long enough to go right across there, so but I do quite like that idea. So what I might do is just kind of tear across here and do it with this piece instead. So I just pop that inside there, I mean, I quite like that, kind of how that looks. So let's just, I'm not going to glue it in just yet because I may change my mind. But, you know, we'll have that kind of tentatively kind of placed there. Just going to kind of fussy tear this little flower piece. Like that. So we've got that piece that we may want to use somewhere. And then I'm just going to kind of tear this across here. Let's just have a look and see how this would kind of work, how it would kind of look. Get a bit of sheet music, I think, going on. Oops. Like that. Or we might want to have it this side where we kind of more cover up the seam of the bag. Like that. And then we could have a little butterfly on there, something like that. What do you guys think? I mean, I quite like that. I think it looks quite pretty. So I'm going to glue this down at the back of the bag. So just run the glue down like that. And then just tuck it inside the bag like that. Just kind of spread it out a bit with my glue spreader, which is not really a glue spreader at all. Okay, then now the only thing is you can kind of see that paper through the bag, so I might have to kind of do something across the top of the bag, just to kind of cover that up. So just having a look, seeing what we've got here. What we could do is tear a piece of our kind of collage paper. I mean, actually this is printed more on card, so I probably would be better off with a different piece that's slightly thinner than this, but you know, that looks really cool then. Yeah, I really like how that looks. So actually let's just go for this because I don't want to dilly-dally. I'm really trying to kind of speed up for you guys so that I'm not taking quite such an age to kind of do each piece, because gosh, it must be just so incredibly dull to watch. Right, so we've got that piece there, and then if we had this piece here with this, so again, let's just commit and kind of glue our pieces down like that. And then we've got this green piece here. Could have that there. Now I'm just wondering if we could have that like that, and then we've got this little ruffle that I guess we could have. Just having a look. So oh, just now I thought of one other thing that I thought, oh, we'll have that, and now I can't remember what it was. Unless it was one of the rosebuds. Might well have been one of the rosebuds. So let's cut one of those out. So we'll just use one of those. Oops. Now, I did say before, I haven't decided yet whether this is going to be a kind of massive, you know, embellishment kit, or whether I'm going to put it in a journal. I'm still deciding kind of what to do, I think, for the best. So, yeah, I haven't quite decided. Maybe up there is quite cute, isn't it? So, just kind of having a look. Now, I've also got piece that I did with the blue on it. So let's just bring that in. Just wondering whether we need something kind of from the blue. So let's just take some of this, tear around that, like that. And let's just fussy tear these. And weirdly enough, I'm using this because I don't think I've got any more of my blue, you know, my own breed of flower. I don't think I've got any left. I mean, obviously I scanned them in so I can print some more off, but I just mean I don't think I've got any left right now in the immediate, you know, time frame. So that's why I'm having to use them off of my actual background collage page, because I don't want to kind of be here now, you know. Well, I don't want to have to kind of stop my video and go and print some more, because it all just kind of adds to the time that these things take, doesn't it? Okay. Well, I quite like that. I'm going to stick the rosebud down because I do definitely like that up there. Just dab that off a little bit on the back of my hand. Okay. Now, something about this part here that I'm not quite 100% sure about. So maybe kind of prefer it now without this, strangely enough, because I'm not sure how well that was kind of going. So I'm going to have that like that. What do you all think? Is this looking too cluttered now? I don't know. Isn't it strange how we kind of deliberate so much? I'm going to pop this down because I do really quite like the, you know, the blue flowers. Just before I do, I just want to check. Yeah, no. Right, so just pop the blue flowers down. Actually, let's move them up so we can actually see them a bit better. So they're quite nice, liking those. And then just wonder, maybe I've got the wrong fabric on here. Isn't it strange how sometimes you just can't get things to be quite how you want them to look? I'm going to quickly cut some of this. Like that. Oh, it's just the most ridiculous thing because this is just the smallest, minutest detail, but for some reason I just can't get it to quite go how I'm wanting it to go. So let me just have another look through my stash. Whether we need a bit more of this green and white going on. Look. I don't know whether you could all just hear that plane just then, but we live quite near a place called Goodwood Airfield, and that obviously was one of those little planes, kind of, you know, people learn to fly in those kind of tiny planes and things like that up there. So you don't very often hear them, but that one was really loud. So yeah, let's just try this here. quite like that actually. Right, let's just commit to this one, glue this down. So just pop that one on here like that. And we can just decide whether to have these couple of bits here. It's quite pretty, isn't it? Finally, hopefully coming together. I mean, obviously, once it's on the page, you could always have kind of another little fabric piece kind of somewhere else, which would look quite good. So let's pop this one down. Again, just trying to kind of, you know, speed up a bit for you guys so that it's not taking endless amounts of time. Maybe it's the butterfly that's wrong. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not quite 100% about this page, but you know, hopefully I will be kind of by the time, you know, if I decide to keep it in a journal or, you know, make a journal myself, I will be. Or if I decide to put it together as a kit, you know, hopefully it will kind of then, you know, come together when all the bits are kind of then popped together. It will, you know, be nice. Maybe I prefer it without that big flower. Maybe that was what was wrong, because it's been printed onto that watercolour type paper, which is actually quite yellowy. So I think maybe that was kind of where I wasn't that happy. So let's pop this little fabric piece on here like that. Oops. And then I wonder whether I've got some more of those little rosebuds, because I've got slightly bigger ones there, which may be quite nice. I'll just cut around one of those. Like that. Oh! I've ripped his leaf off, so he's now only got one leaf. Can you see that? So I can either have him now one leaved, or I could always pop that leaf on kind of separately. So let's just see how he looks. So what I could do is maybe have those leaves kind of both on like one side like that. And it's quite sweet, doesn't it? So if we were to have kind of the butterfly kind of there, yeah, that looks quite pretty. So yeah, it was definitely, this piece wasn't working for me, so just pop this little rosebud on. Again, just dab that off a bit. And then just check where I want this rosebud. So we could have it over here, to be honest. Kind of fill this area a little bit. Oh, that's quite nice. So let's glue our butterfly down. Obviously I had glued this double-sided, so that's what's on the back of there. I'll just pop that like that. Oops. Could have a little button on here. Okay, like that. Isn't it strange how just sometimes, you know that something's not working, don't you? And, you don't feel quite happy until you've kind of got rid of that piece that's not working. There we go. Right. With the button. The button's really nice, actually. I quite like it, but I just wonder whether I'd be better off with a slightly different coloured button. So I'm just having a look. I had started out this, what has now effectively turned into a series, with some buttons, but obviously over the time I've already used them kind of thing now. So I'm just looking to see whether I've got any at all hanging around still. So I really like that red bow somewhere. Got this little heart button, but it's not very vibrant, so I don't think I'm going to use that. Let me just have a look through my little tin, which my tin doesn't really tend to contain kind of many bright buttons. It's more my kind of vintage stash, which I'm not really kind of working from my vintage stash for this, the collage things, because it feels like I'm preferring the kind of more bright kind of pieces, I think, for this. So, right, I'm going to pop this on, and then we're kind of committed to this as well. So, like that. Just kind of stick that on down there. Like that. And perhaps we'll just go for that little bow on there, because that looks sweet, doesn't it? I love using bows. Just so cute. So cute and so pretty. Depending on the type of bow, I think they can look really kind of sophisticated and, very bridal. They can look very kind of shabby chic, very kind of cutesy, kind of, yeah, just depending on kind of the bow and the project. I just think they really have a lot of different kind of looks to them. So yeah, I really do like using them. I don't necessarily know whether other people do, because I don't know whether I see other people really using them that much, but I think they're gorgeous. Right, that's that piece finished. So it's obviously the paper bag at the top and then this little pocket here, and hopefully we've kind of kept the continuity kind of running through with our kind of collage pieces, is still kind of going through with these. So let me check what the time is as to whether we've got time to do another piece. Oh, we're only up to 23 minutes, which that's pretty short for this collage series that tends to have been taking forever per episode. So all I've got here is a big brown envelope here, like this. I'm just going to make one of those kind of pockets, I think, like that. Now again, for me, this is a bit of a struggle, because I feel like I have only used white envelopes in this, what's the word? In this series so far. So for me, this feels like it's not really kind of in keeping, and I shouldn't really be using this, But again, I really am trying to kind of get out of that whole everything must match perfectly. So I'm going to kind of say, nope, I'm going to use the brown envelope. So very, very brave kind of move there from me. Right, let's cut this down. Like this. So I'm just using some of our kind of collage page to kind of cover it like that. So, and I'm going to kind of cover it really quite a lot. Quite often when I use these, I don't really go too close to the edges because I quite like the edges showing. But because I'm feeling like this is not especially matching, I'm going to go, you know, kind of keep it, you know, pretty close to the edges, if that makes sense. And I may even cut across the top. So let's have a look. So let's glue this on. So, okay. Sounds very windy outside. Oh, come on. So it's going to go kind of quite up to the top like that. Just smooth that out like that. Okay, and then obviously for the flap itself, I just need to have a look and decide whether are we going to use a kind of pre-collaged part, or do we want to you know, collage that, if you see what I mean. I think we will probably go with a collaged piece, and I might as well use this piece here that we've kind of semi-used somewhere else. So I'm just going to cut through that like that. And again, I might actually go kind of as close as I can to the brown. In fact, I might cover the brown up altogether. Let's have a look. Yeah, I might cover the brown up altogether on this one. So again, just kind of glue that down. And I'm just going to kind of apply the glue to the flap where we're going to glue it on. Like that. That's it. Take that right up, kind of butting it up against there, like that. Oops, spread it out as best I can, like that. And then obviously just cut around that. And just trim it here across the bottom. Like that. Okay. So that looks really nice, you know, already, I think. And then we're just going to obviously glue the flap, oops, glue the flap down like that. And that's effectively our pocket. And then obviously, you know, we're just going to kind of add a couple of things on there so it's kind of in keeping with the rest of our pieces. So again, you know, I might just kind of pull in one or two things. So I might see how this would look. So if I just kind of fussy tear around this. Like that. I might actually kind of have that on there. So let me just check them in frame. So we could have that on there, and what we could do is maybe place it onto some fabric or something. I don't know whether I've really got enough here for it to kind of show much behind. Now this to me is screaming that it needs some red or, you know, some other colour to kind of break it up. So, you know, it needs something extra bright to kind of lift it up or pull it out or something. I'm not sure, but it's just kind of screaming out at me that it needs something really bright. So let's just have a look. What we could do is have this on the blue. So let's just kind of, you know, tentatively kind of do this. So let's pop this down onto the blue fabric. Like that. Right, just see if it can fit up here. Just trying to be economical a bit with my fabric. Like that. cut around there. Obviously I'm just really roughly cutting this, you know, kind of just didn't want it to look like it's a square, if you see what I mean. But I don't want it to be necessarily shaped like a bird cage either, so we just kind of tore around that. And then that would kind of pop onto here, so I like that, how that looks. Now I've got my little pot of felt flowers, which I've used these kind of before in projects, so I wonder whether we could kind of just add a splash of colour with a little felt flower. So let's just have a look. And obviously I'm going to just pull in some of those hand-stitched fabric ruffles that I made. So I just pull them in. So just have a look. Oops. See my envelopes, I sorted them out the other day. They're already getting messy, so it doesn't take 5 minutes really, does it? You kind of use it once and that's it. It's all kind of getting messy already. So just going to pull in a couple of these little bits and pieces just to see if any of this, you know, is the right colour or would look good. Oh, got that little yo-yo, that might be cute on there. Let's have a look. Right. So, and I should have still that red button. Let's have a look. So if I were to have the, or I could have that bird cage up there actually. That's really nice. Let's have a look. Maybe that's my new catchphrase. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Just I've noticed that I've said that endlessly on this video. Don't know why. Seems to be my new thing instead of literally, or maybe as well as literally. Play around. I was about to say let's have a look, and I just stopped myself at the last minute and changed it to let's have a play around. Got this little red flower here. Sure now. Seem to spend the other part of my time constantly saying I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You see this here, I really like either here or here. I can't quite decide for me which I prefer. Oh, that's quite nice up there, isn't it? What about kind of like something like this? That's quite nice, isn't it? Just going to pull in one or two of the other pieces that we've made and see how this is looking in comparison with the other pieces that we've kind of done, because you know, I do like them to kind of tie in a little bit. So is it looking kind of dull, or does it kind of now look bright enough? Probably is bright enough, isn't it? So I'm going to pop this down, I think. Over here. Very cute. Just that little flower. And, you know, could pop a button in. I don't know whether it necessarily needs one. That one's quite nice. Might have to have a look through my buttons in a moment and just see whether there's a kind of better colour for that button there. And whether I should have it more like that, kind of more over to the side. I'm wishing I had some of this hand stitched ruffle, which I haven't, unfortunately, but that's the one, you know, it would be, wouldn't it? The one that I haven't actually got, that's the one that I want to use. So just having a look to see if I've even got that fabric here. I'm not even sure if I've got that here now, because where I've been obviously kind of playing around and mucking about, I may have not even got that here anymore. Let's have a look. Right, let me just pull my buttons in. So again, I've said this before, these are not my vintage buttons. These are kind of my, you know, modern day buttons, you know, that I kind of have brought along for this set of videos, because I kind of feel like this is quite a bright, vibrant, you know, not particularly vintage looking, you know, few pieces that we've been making. So that's why I've been kind of leaning towards using these as opposed to my vintage kind of buttons. So right, I'll just pull out a few like that. Okay, so if I swap that out for a pink one, oh, I love that already. And then we had the red flower. No, I'm not liking that. Well, that's quite cute, isn't it? Do we want that? Yeah, let's put this one down. I'll just stick this down here. Like that. Oh, I love that pink flower on that green fabric. Really gorgeous. I'll just pop that on there. Doesn't that look pretty? I love it. Oh, love it. Right. I love it when you put really bright colours together like that. They just look so striking, don't they? We could have another kind of, you know, the yo-yo there, couldn't we? Does that look too green? Oh, that maybe is the one, the winning one for me. So I'm just going to glue this fabric ruffle along the bottom, like that. And then we'll just glue this on here, like that. So there we go. Flip that over, glue that down. Ah, that looks lovely. Now let me see how it looks through the thing, just in case when I stand up I kind of think, oh no, it doesn't. That doesn't look lovely at all. So there we go. That looks really cute. Could even have a little red flower poking out. Or kind of maybe behind here or something. Oh, maybe there. Let's have a look. Yeah, might just add that there. I mean, I don't think it needs it, but it does kind of lift it and just makes it look a bit more kind of colourful. So, and that's kind of, you know, what this collage thing for me is all about. These pieces, I think, is, you know, the gorgeous, gorgeous colours of them. So there we go. And obviously, as I say, you know, maybe we can cut along the top of this. That's the flap of the envelope. Maybe we could cut along the top of this and have it as a top loading envelope as well. Haven't quite decided yet whether to do that. Oh, let's do that. Let's do that. So just cut along like that. So that then is a kind of top loading pocket as well as kind of front loading pocket there. So yeah, really happy now with that. So that's probably all we've got time for now in this episode. So, you know, our collage pieces are coming along and we are actually gradually kind of getting there. So, yeah, I hope that you enjoyed the episode, and I will be back soon with more kind of more fun and games. Okay, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Thanks, Em. Bye.